What's up, folks? This is Mark Spencer. I'm back once again, everybody. Welcome to the Transfer Rumors for this day on July the 9th. Actually, was it the 9th? Let me double check the date. Oh, actually, July the 10th. Wednesday, July the 10th, 2013. This is the news. Folks, it has been a busy summer. The Confederation Cup was great. We saw great teams play to the top of their ability. I mean, when you see the talent you're seeing around the world on show on these big tournaments, you get to see the young stars coming up. The FIFA Under 20 World Cup's going on right now. I guess it's in some part of Europe, I guess, or another part of the world. But, you know, I've watched a few games. It's been good. I watched some of the Gold Cup. It's been good, too. I mean, you see small teams around the world really doing good. Look at Martinique. They beat Canada. Unbelievable. No one saw that coming. Panama beating Mexico. No one saw that coming. I just think when you look at Mexico, they're in a decline. They're not the Mexican team that I remember. I mean, I remember watching this team for years. I mean, they had Coto Blanco. They had some great players, Morales. They had some players that coming up over the years that were just talented. I know they have Hernandez now, Chichito, but, you know, I just feel goaltending, defensively, the Mexican team is just not the Mexican teams of old. I mean, this team, I mean, they've had injuries, they've had a lot of stuff. But I feel that, you know, the Mexican team hasn't been the Mexican team since the 2010 World Cup, where they had a good showing. And I just feel something must have happened there. Maybe it's their confidence, maybe it's the belief, maybe it's something. It's just something hasn't worked for this team. And that's what happens. Sometimes it works for you, and then sometimes it doesn't work for you. So I think in the end, when you're looking at these teams, it's confidence. And I think when it comes down to confidence, you got to believe that you can make things happen. And I just don't think it's been happening for this team for years. The coaching hasn't been the best. I know that when it comes down to it, it's the coaching. When it comes down to it, it's the players believing they can score goals. And when you're not scoring goals, you see the performance on the field. So I just feel when you're looking at a team like Mexico, they just need to find the confidence, and eventually they'll find their way back. And I want to say congratulations to Brazil. They played great against Italy in the Confederations Cup final. I mean, there was a few plays there offside. Okay, whatever. But it was a good game. I mean, every game in the Confederation Cup was really good. Nigeria showed that they could play the big boys. Spain showed in the final against Brazil that they can be beat. I mean, Spain, they might think Spain is all this, all that. But come next year's World Cup, I predict they might get knocked out in the first round. It's a possibility. Same thing with Brazil. They could get knocked out in the first round. Can you imagine two of the best teams on the planet get knocked out in the first round? It absolutely is a possibility. So nothing's a guarantee, folks. Nothing's a guarantee. So look at France in 2002. That team was the best. And they got knocked out by who? They lost that opening game against Senegal, and then they got a draw, and they didn't have enough, and they didn't win any more games after that. And they went out so fast in the 2002 World Cup. It was a disappointment. Disappointing to the country, disappointing to the people. It's just a disappointment to all the fans around the world. I love that team. With Zizou, Zidane, Henry, Thuram, you know, Desailly. I mean, all that great talent put to waste after a great showing at the '98 World Cup in France. So there's a lot of pressure coming for Brazil in this World Cup. They did nothing in the 2010 World Cup. They were horrible. Argentina, a lot of pressure on them. Italy, a ton of pressure. Spain, tons of pressure. Germany, even more pressure. England, gigantic pressure. These teams need to show up in this World Cup next year, next summer. They need to show the fans that they are the best. You know, it's not easy playing this game 9% of the time. It's a mental game. You still got to develop players coming up through the wings, young players coming out, of course. But when you're superstars, your main guns can't score goals. Then you got to question your antics, your tactics, and the way you play the game. And that is the key going forward. So, here is the news, my folks. Okay. Here is the news. from ESPN Blog FC. Some transfer rumors that is on the way. So let's see what's going on. Well, it looks like here, transfer news for July the 10th, Madrid to swoop for Suarez. Here's the news. At 1824, basically their time period in Europe, a lack of star signings swoos the prescription of the foreign takeover in the Premier League. Ori Smith writes, done deal. Barcelona youngster Gerard Defoe joins Everton on loan for the 2013-14 season. Here, Gerard Defoe. Actually, Gerard Defoe did play at the under. I think he played in the. I think he played in the Confederations Cup. Defoe. He's a good player. He has a lot of talent. And I think with Everton acquiring him via loan for a season, I personally feel he's going to dominate. I think he's going to be a very talented player in this league. And it's up to him if he's going to step it up and become the best player he can be. And another transfer that has pretty much been done, Sunderland have signed the Le Havre youngster El Hadji Ba, while Villa-Saffield fullback Gino Peruzzi is on the verge of finishing a move to the stadium of right. So Sunderland have signed two youngsters, a fullback in Gino Peruzzi, or is it Peruzzi or Peruzzi, and El Hadji Ba. So I've never heard of these players. I feel they get one player is a striker and another player is a fullback, so center back or right back or left back, or basically a fullback. His positions either or. When you look at this move for Sunderland, it's a good move, good young talent. It's the type of players that their manager DeCanio can relate to. He loves to play attacking football. He loves to win. He loves goal score. You can see his passion on the sideline. I think this is a good move. Well, it looks like a few moves that are on the verge of happening. It looks like Dutch team Al-Khazar has sent Josie Altidore to the Premier League. Basically, he signed a transfer agreement. I believe it was with. I'm gonna have to go double check on this one, but it's with one of the teams in the Premier League. With Jose Altidore, the American. So I think this is going to be a good move for Altidore. He goes to the Premier League. He hasn't been in the Premier League in a few years. He comes back, and he's a guy that knows how to score goals. He needs to score goals, especially coming to a World Cup year coming up.